Hey, what's up? I'm Guy.
I'm John.
It's our YouTube channel. Subscribe to it. Give this video a like.
Podcast below in the description. Subscribe as well.
Brady's going back to the Super Bowl. Rodgers is going home. I love the NFC Championship game, John. It was kind of a mess of a game at times, but I did enjoy the game.
Five turnovers, Guy.
Five turnovers, and then coaching decisions. I didn't like not going for it, kicking the field goal by the Packers. Jadon Mickens sliding down, giving the Packers an extra timeout. The Brady with the jacket on at the end of the half, and then they rip it off. They run out there. They convert the fourth down. They score the touchdown. It was wild. It was a great game.
Have you ever seen a player who threw 40 touchdowns on the season, who threw now, I don't even know how many playoff touchdowns. He threw 3 today. But feel like the offense, him and the wide receivers, are not consistently ever on the same page. It's like the Bucs offense, if it was just a 10 of understanding your wide receivers, it feels like they're like a 5. Yet they're going to the Super Bowl. He threw 3 picks today. You know, he missed Evans multiple times on picks and just throws. He missed passes. I didn't think Tom was very good, especially the second half. Maybe it was cold. Maybe it was off. I don't know. But 3 interceptions and to win the game in Green Bay, if you just would have told me that before the game, they're going to win. I mean, they were in control. They had the lead the entire game, especially in the second half. And he throws 3 picks. Like now, 2 of them came basically, you know, they had to go the full field, and both times their defense came through. But man.
Yeah, I thought especially the third one that even he treated it kind of like a punt. So I view it like a 2.5 interception game for him. But you're right, he threw them. I mean, he did throw them.
They had the MVP of the league on the other team, you know.
But the irony is the Rodgers pick at the end of the half is the one that hurt the most.
I know. Well, both their turnovers led to 14
and then the
points.
Fumble to start the second half in their own territory was awful.
I know. It was really bad. That turnover, the Rodgers throw that I guess could have been PI too, for them to ultimately get 7 out of there, that was pretty crippling. I mean, that was a major kick in the dick to the Packers to go, because it was 14-0, and you're like, well, they're going to get a field goal 17-10, or I mean 14-10. You get 17-10, you're like, whatever, going to half to get a touchdown and go up 21-10 at halftime, and then right to start the half, he fumbles and they go up 28-10. Like that's just in the playoffs, Guy. 28-10, that's just too large of a lead to overcome. Look how he was really good, I thought, in the second half. They had multiple touchdown drives, pretty just seamless down the field. But you got to make up 18 points is 3 scores. Like that's just a lot of points. Your margin for error every drive as the second half goes, it's like, well, you're only going to get the ball back 1 more time, right? Or 2 more. You start doing the math in your head. You're like, well, there's 9 minutes left. They might get it 2 more times. It's very, very tough. They really set themselves up behind the 8 ball, I thought, in the first half.
Yeah, as someone who picked the Packers not only to win the game and to cover, but to also win the Super Bowl, I exhaled a little bit at the end of the first half when they ran off the field on 3rd down, 3rd and 2. It became 4th and 2. Brady puts the jacket on, and I know in that moment I just felt like, all right, get to halftime for the Packers. We get the ball first in the second half. And then Brady whips the jacket off, runs back onto the field. They convert the 4th down. For some of the issues they had in the passing game, Leonard Fournette dropped a couple balls. Godwin, the touchdowns that he hit looked like he'd been throwing to those guys for 10 years, right? The Evans touchdown wide open. The Scotty Miller touchdown at the end of the first half wide open.
Yeah, I mean, King did jump about 15 minutes too early.
And also
He's like,
just got beat. Like, he got beat, too.
But, I mean, he has a 6'2". He was bad today. He was off. He had
the penalty at the end of the game that
they went after that guy. Wherever 20
did.
Was, that they went after.
Gronk's one big play was big. But, I mean, I think the thing that everyone's probably talking about after the game is the decision. Like you said, you don't have that many possessions left in a half when you get down 18. How about there's 2 minutes and change? It's 4th and goal at the 8. Easy to say from TV. I thought Rodgers at least could have – I don't know if he could have scored on the 3rd down throw, but –
he would have got, it feels like, to minimum the 2 or the 1 if he does slide. He would have got it close.
I didn't like kicking the field goal. The world didn't like kicking the field goal, so that doesn't really mean anything. But I didn't like it in the moment. I just thought, okay, you're going to have to score twice in 2.5 minutes to beat Brady, and you're giving him the ball back with the – I know you got basically 4 timeouts, but you're giving him the ball back. He's got the lead.
Where is the point? What minute mark do you think he would have been untouchable? Not untouchable is the wrong word. just uncriticizable of like, if it's 10 minutes left in the game, you go, well, we make it a 5-point game. To me, the 2.5 points.
I think even if it's 5 minutes left in the game, you can kick the field goal.
Yeah, I think that kind of gets to that murky water of they can run the clock out. You use your timeouts. They get a couple first downs. But under 3 minutes, whenever it was 2:22, I mean, you got the best player in the league. The guy won the MVP. And he's good today. Like, you're just watching him and you're going, he's just playing like Aaron Rodgers. He did throw the one pick, but he had 3 touchdowns, led him on countless drives, was in full control. The only time he was really, like, under duress is when his tackles are getting smoked. And they did. I mean, you got to give Tampa's defense is just really good. But I think I'm a big believer is your true colors. And definitely for football coaches, but in life, anytime you feel a lot of pressure, that's when the decision making. You'd be like, I got big balls. And it's like, well, do you really? You know, LaFleur, it's like, oh, he's this great coach. Well, it all came down to that moment, and I don't even think he hesitated to kick the field goal. And I think we've seen time and time again, you know, Arians just really aggressive, and it burns him sometimes, but he's going to the Super Bowl, like his mindset. Last week, you know, Andy Reid in the playoff game against the Browns, like, when you have these elite all-time great players, no one's ever going to criticize you for being extra aggressive.
No, he wouldn't.
You know, you are going to get heat.
But
you are going to get heat when you go kick field goals.
Well, but again, like I do think it's defensible because not only did they have to score the touchdown, they were going to have to get the 2-point conversion too, because at that point it was 31-23, right?
Yeah,
and the reason they were in that spot is because they went for the 2-point conversion earlier in the game, and Alan Lazard, who only drops passes as far as I can tell, dropped it. It's a good thing, John, he had 15 receivers.
He had a couple nice plays.
I know. But every time I watch him, he drops a ball. I thought remember Aaron yelled at him several weeks ago. It's a good thing there weren't 15 receivers they could have taken, John, in the draft.
Well, Valdez-Scantling dropped balls too today. Like,
yeah, again, but he also got me 25 points in DraftKings, so I'm not mad.
Well, Lazar had like 20. Guy, the Packers offense, he threw for 350 yards, and he was 33 of 48. Like, to me, he was good. Like, their offense was just not the issue.
No, I know. I'm just saying in the context of that decision, like they were going to have to get a 2-point, and the reason they were going to have to get the 2 points because they failed on a 2-point.
Yeah, he just kind of went full pussy mode. I mean, we see it time and time again with coaches. They just lean like, that is just historically the conservative
that's where I disagree.
play.
Like, I would have gone for it. I don't call it pussy mode. I mean, because in his mind, he had to score twice right there. He had to get the touchdown.
Yeah, but your 2-point, like you have to score a touchdown either way. Yeah, and you're no guaranteed to get that close again. And they didn't even get the ball back. So to me, when we play that, once we have the results, and this is the analytic crew, they always blast like, you're playing the results, play the process. With under 2.5 minutes to go, and being an 8-point game, even if you kick the field goal, you are banking on yourself getting a stop. And like you are playing Tom Brady, who hasn't been good. They just have so many weapons and so many different places to go to. They'd already been beat on like several different plays by several different players, right? Scotty Miller had got him. Gronk had got him on the screen. Yep. Lenny had made some plays. Like, that's the one thing when you watch Tampa, they have more quote-unquote names than Green Bay. It's like, God, you never know at any moment. Like, Godwin can, take a 15-yard screen. Obviously, Evans is a star. I don't love, no matter how shitty he was, and I think Brady was really shitty for his standards. Like, Tom Brady's standards are the GOAT, and this was a below-average game for him when you factor in the picks and just he was missing some weird balls. It's tough. I mean, it's hard to play in Green Bay, but to kick it back to him, that one's tough.
I don't like
kick
it.
Back with the mindset of you got to get a stop. Like that to me is like he's going to get called a pussy, and I don't think it's unfair.
I don't like it. But to me, the result, like understanding that he had to also get the 2-point conversion, I didn't think he was. I didn't like the decision. I didn't think he was being soft. I thought he was. I just don't like his. I thought he was making an analytical decision, which I get. Which was we have 4 timeouts, basically. I understand it. I don't like it.
You're saying he's using the field goal as a 2-point conversion?
No. Wait. What do you mean?
Well, like the field goal is points toward the 8 points. Right?
The field goal is I don't have to get a 2-point conversion. Like, either way, I got to score 2 more times to win this game.
But, I mean, the pushback by everyone is just like, you didn't get the ball back. So who even cares?
Again, I agree. I'm just saying there's a difference between choking or being soft or being a pussy and just
to me, there's a big difference between choking and being a pussy. Like, I don't think the Packers choked or whatever.
We'll use
they
that.
just kind of went puss.
You see, that's where I disagree. I didn't like the decision either. But I understand what he's thinking, which is I not only do I have to score the touchdown, I also have to get the 2-point, and I got 4 timeouts. I think he's probably I'm sure he's playing the odds is what he's going to say. But
well,
ultimately,
I think that's where the math guys are completely opposite because you're playing to win and you don't get the ball back, and that's where I think his
I'm just saying being a math guy is
analytics.
different than being soft. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean it failed. Like there's just no way around it. It failed miserably. Like they didn't come close to getting the ball back. So that's where it's devastating. Like to me, the math guys in the NFL are always going for it. He took the old school conservative play. I mean, and it just, but I'm even getting away from that. Like to be down in a game when Brady's throwing picks and the Bucs aren't playing well and your quarterback's playing well, like that's just a devastating loss for the Packers. To me, it's like last year they just got thoroughly outplayed. This one, you just go, God, they just weren't. Tampa wasn't that great. It's one thing if Dom just throws 4 touchdowns and is awesome. Like you just lost a game when I thought the Bucs played a B- game max.
Yeah, I did think they just made more. Like I thought, like I said, I thought the Bucs made actually more plays on defense than the Packers did. As good as Aaron was, Devin White was just everywhere. I mean, Devin White was incredible.
You know, the front set, the Bucs are great on defense. I mean, they're easily one of the best defenses in the league, but that Rodgers didn't have a problem. I mean, he was throwing it all over the yard.
Yeah,
I think it just stings when you go, God, Brady was off and we couldn't win. That to me is where it hurts.
Yeah, honestly, this is Tom now. Like this is threw 3 touchdowns.
Well, he shouldn't. For him to get to the Super Bowl playing like this is pretty nuts.
Well, it is going to be the wildest Super Bowl he wins if he wins this year. It gets to 7 with this team, with this group. Because at no point this year they've always looked like a good team to me. They've never looked to me like a Super Bowl. I shouldn't say never. The Packers often look like a Super Bowl level team. Have the Bucs often looked like a Super Bowl level team?
No, that's what I don't think the Bucs I didn't even think they looked good today, and they just won the NFC Championship game. Tom is like the football genius. He can play good, he gets there. He can play bad, and he gets there. Now he benefited. His defense is good, and his defensive coordinator is good. But this feels the weirdest of all the Super Bowls I can remember him getting to recently. Of like, this doesn't really make that much sense.
No,
at all. But they're there, guy. They have a home game.
I know. Do you think does Robert Kraft send Bill Belichick a text today? Like, all right, Bill, Tom better look really bad the next 2 years.
I don't know
because he's back in the Super Bowl.
This is not ideal for them. Not ideal at all. Tom won. Tom's up right now in the game between him and Bill. I'll tell you that much.
I mean, we've talked about before, like how much does Tom really have to gain? He's already won 6, but I don't know, man. As we sit here now, 2 weeks away from him playing another Super Bowl, if you were to win a championship with the Buccaneers, I don't think I've even fully really thought about Tom Brady winning a championship with the Buccaneers and how, even though we already talk about him like the greatest of all time, I don't know that there's another level for him to go to, but maybe there is.
Well, he's already, to me, Tiger, Michael, and him are in their own, category, but this is an incredible accomplishment to get to the Super Bowl with Tampa Bay. I already think like this is already kind of with house money, but now if he wins 7, I don't know if it changes his legacy that much. I think it's just like, are we? Because Joe always had like he got the Chiefs to the AFC Championship game. Yeah. This guy won the game on the road against the MVP. Like, I don't remember who Joe Montana played. The Bills, maybe. I don't. It doesn't matter. Like this guy played Aaron Rodgers on his MVP season. Now he didn't outplay him, but still, like,
doesn't matter.
No one remembers that shit in 2 years, let alone 5, let alone 10.
All he's got to do is make one big play in the Super Bowl.
He just won a game in the NFC Championship game at Lambeau. Like that's a pretty historic moment for Tom's career.
I think this season is so weird that we don't even that hasn't even fully set in with people because the whole season is just so weird. Just listening to you talk though, here's maybe what the next level of his legacy is. I've never entertained the idea that he could be this good without Bill for an extended period of time, but maybe the next level for him is that we don't have the conversation about who needed whom more. Remember, there used to be like a Joe Montana or Tom Brady. What's come next is who was more important, Belichick or Brady. Maybe the next level for Brady is that no one really debates that anymore and just goes, yeah, it's Tom. What if Bill never gets back to another Super Bowl?
I do think. Well, I mean, how is he going to at this rate? Right? I mean, Tom. I think Bill's in major trouble. Tom is. I don't see how Tom loses because whatever happens next year moving forward, like Tom's going to have this. How does Bill ever match this? Like Bill's 69 years old, no quarterback.
Yeah, he's got to.
I'd say the likelihood
Jared Stidham a star or something. I don't know.
I'd say the likelihood Belichick ever gets back to a Super Bowl would be slim to none. Tom did it. So Bill's fucked.
Yeah,
more than likely.
What if Tom? I mean, yeah, I don't want to start talking about 2022, but
Bill's 71 years old. I mean, Bill's just doesn't have that much time left.
Is Arians going to win a championship?
I don't know.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that next week. But he's got to. What's with Arians? Like he wears the glasses and he wears double glasses and the visor, but then he doesn't wear the visor.
Bizarre.
He like uses the visor like it's just to keep rain off his face, like it's in a like a nose umbrella.
I can't believe Bruce Arians in the NFC in the Super Bowl.